Hi everyone, I'm Anna Finch from Finch Press and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is about my goals for 2021. Now these goals can change depending on the progress I make, so I'm going to separate it into like big goals and then the core goals for like the first 3 months. Yeah. So let's start with number 1, get through my TBR pile. I don't know if you've watched my video that I uploaded hopefully earlier today about the books I'm planning on reading this year. Those books have been sitting on my shelf for like half a year and I haven't touched them. So I want to get through those books. Okay. If I can actually read one a day. Some of them are as big as these Violent Delights. There's one that's just as big as this. Most of them are fairly shorter. So it's possible for me to read one a day and actually get the TBR pile done by the end of January. Now, I am planning on using my reading as a reward. So write a certain number of chapters each day. You can read this book. Once you've done that, your break. Or something you can do for fun is reading a book or reading fanfic. Because I like reading fanfiction. It's a guilty pleasure. Yeah, so getting through my TBR pile. There's like, I don't know, 15, 16 books on that TBR pile. I'm planning on reading them and reviewing them. Two of the books on my pile are for work. The rest are ones I bought for pleasure. That's kind of my number 1 goal, because I know I can achieve it. The reason why I put it as my number 1 goal is because I know I can actually get it done. I can actually get that TBR pile done by the end of the month if I read at least 1 book a day. Sometimes even more. So I'm probably going to finish 3 books tonight, hopefully. Yeah, and making videos of them. Okay. So, second goal, this is a big goal, is to publish my second book, which is Unspoken, currently calling it Unspoken. It is a part of my series, what I'm planning on making a series of companion novels slash standalone, I guess. I mean, I'm planning on writing this, so this particular series, each book in the series can be read on its own. Okay, I'm planning so that each book can be read as a story on its own, with connections connections being the characters, the setting. The bulk of the connections between the stories is characters and setting, as well as some plot threads are woven throughout that will culminate in the last book, hopefully. So I'm planning on doing that because I want to know what happens with the other characters, how their lives evolve, where do they end up once the big battle is done, kind of thing in the first book. Now, this second book is going to be mainly focused on a character that is introduced in the first book. The female character is introduced in about partway through. I mean, she's hinted at throughout the book, but she's more subtly talked about and shown as a character in the last quarter, basically. The male POV. Because Unspoken, I'm planning on making it a dual POV. So the male POV character is introduced at the end of the book. And honestly, I'm really interested to see what you guys think. If you guys have read the book, read Voiceless, A Mermaid's Tale, let me know down below who you think could be the POV characters for Unspoken. So let me know. Anyway, so with that, because it's a dual POV, sometimes when I write, currently this is what my headspace is. I'm a procrastinator. If I can put stuff off, I will put it off. Now, I'm on summer holidays at the moment, which means I've got probably another 4 weeks left of holidays, which is great. It means more time. But it means I've got to get the bulk of my writing done this month, which is going to be tricky because there's like 10 different birthdays. Well, I'm exaggerating a bit, but there's a lot of birthdays in my family this month. Yeah, so publishing, I want to publish my second book. In a perfect world, I get it out July with at least a 3-month or 4-month pre-order. That's the best case scenario. But my ultimate deadline for the second novel is October. Mid-October. I would like to get it out on I think it's Human Rights Day, I think. So my ultimate deadline is October. So for a release in October with at least a 2 to 3 month pre-order. Which is kind of what I had for this first book. Yeah, so I had like a 2-month pre-order, roughly. And with the release in October for my first book. So I know I can get it done in that time because I've done it already once. But I would like to try and get it done earlier. That way I can concentrate on the third book a lot more. So my goal is to publish my second novel this year. I would like to try and publish at least 1 novel a year based on my schedule and things like that. If I can get 2 in a year, brilliant. But at least if I can get 1 done. My third big goal is to get the first drafts, or to get, well, let me rephrase it. My third goal is to actually complete the manuscript, at least up to developmental editing stage for my third book and my 4th book in the series this year. That way, the following year, I can focus on just editing those 2 manuscripts and setting them up for publishing and pre-order. So, they're my big goals. Get through my TBR pile, publish my second novel with with the best case scenario deadline for July, for release in July, but as October, mid-October being the ultimate deadline for the release date. Third goal is to at least get to the developmental editing stage for my 3rd and 4th book in the series. Okay, so they're the big goals. Now I'm going to go into the smaller goals. So smaller goals. Okay, I am planning on going for the the remainder of time I've got for my summer holidays. I'm planning on going to the library every day, or at least 6 days a week. And my goal is to get the first draft done for book 2, Unspoken, by my birthday on the 15th of January. Or maybe the day after my birthday, 16th, which is a weekend. So I'm giving myself 16 days to finish basically 45 more chapters, well, 44 more chapters in the book. And I can get it done. That's about 3 chapters a day, which is achievable. But luckily, the library is open, so I can work at the library as long as we don't go into lockdown again. Considering, thanks to Sydney, we have more cases here, and we have cases here in Melbourne after 61 days of 0 cases. So I'm praying we don't go into lockdown again. Because if we go into lockdown again, getting it done before I start work is going to be a miracle. So, por favor, don't go into lockdown. So, 16th of January is my deadline for book 2. And once I get it done by the 16th of January, or by the 15th of January, 16th I'm basically going out for the whole day, I'm then going to send it to developmental editor, and I'm not going to touch the second book until mid-February, or the end of February. My second smaller goal is to plan and begin the third book in the series. The first draft of the third book in the series. If I can finish that, I'm planning on trying to get that done by the end of January. But if I don't, I'm not as fussed. My deadline for the first draft of the third book is mid-February, and I will send that off to developmental editing to give myself at least a month break from writing, so I can focus more on teaching and things like that. Another smaller goal is I would like to double the current sales I'm doing a day. I'm going to try and see if I can double it, or at least increase the amount of sales by the 8th of March. He's hoping I can increase the amount of sales again. But anyway, those are my goals for 2021. These goals will probably change because as things happen, things change. The goals will change. So they're fairly flexible. Most of them are fairly flexible. That's kind of why the release date for book 2 is kind of flexible at this stage. Because I don't know what happens. That's why I put my ultimate deadline for release date for the second book as October, with a potential earlier release, depending on my situation. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I am thinking about doing a live stream this week. Probably in 2 days. I'm thinking about doing one on either Sunday or Monday this week coming. If I set it up, it will show up here on the YouTube channel, but most likely it will be this Sunday or Monday following. Also, if you haven't already checked it out, my debut novel, Voiceless, is on sale. The sale ends in a couple of hours as of recording this video. For Amazon, because I have to change the dates manually, the sale price will remain at least for an additional 24 hours. Because of make sure that people from different time zones are able to at least access that. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a safe break and Happy New Year.